Hello everyone, this is Rakesh Kapilas and I welcome you all in my today's class. And today we will discuss class 11's accountancy, and the topic for the day is ledger. Before starting the ledger, let me revise you what is the definition of accountancy or accounting. Accountancy may be defined as the process of recording, classification, summarizing, interpretation, communication of all the business and financial transactions. The first function what we have done in our earlier lectures, that was how to record the transaction, and we used to record the transaction in journal, and the process of recording the transaction in journal was called journalizing, and that's why the journal is also called book of original entry. So after recording all the business and financial transactions in journal, the next step in the accountancy is to prepare the ledger. And by preparing the ledger, we used to follow and we used to complete the classification function of accounting. Classification, right? And the classification is being made in ledger. And when we used to transfer, or when we used to put the transaction from journal to ledger, it is called posting. As I was saying, the process of recording the transaction in journal is called journalizing, while the process of transferring the transaction from journal to ledger is called posting. Okay, now what is ledger? Ledger may be defined as a particular book which contains all the information regarding a particular transaction in a classified manner, or in exact word what we can say, it may be defined as a book which contains classified and permanent record of all the transactions, right? In this we have to classify, we have to divide all the transactions. That's why it is also called book of secondary entry, book of modified entry, right? As whenever any transaction takes place, we used to record that in the journal. We used to record the transaction in journal on the chronological order, on the basis of occurrence. But after completion of the journal, we divide them on the basis of their common characteristics or common features. Like if I am going to make a cash ledger, then all the transactions relating to cash will be recorded in the cash ledger. All the transactions relating to the debtors will be recorded in debtor ledger. All the transactions relating to the asset will be recorded in the asset ledger. This is ledger classification, book of original entry. Now, why we prepare the ledger? What are the objectives behind the preparation of this ledger? Very first, by making the ledger, it becomes really easy for us to know how much we have to pay to someone. If I have to pay to someone, that is called my creditor. So if I am preparing the creditor ledger, so by making the creditor ledger, it will be possible for me to know at any particular point of time how much amount I have to pay to my creditors. Same thing, if you will prepare the debtor ledger, then it will really easy for you to know what amount you have to recover, what amount you have to get from the debtors. Next, why we used to prepare? It will tell us the balance of any ledger. You can check the balance of any ledger anytime. And last, what you can say, it helps us to prepare the trial balance, because as journal was based for the classification, means classification was dependent upon journal. Same here now, the next step, which is summarization, that depend upon this ledger, and that is trial balance. Ledger depend upon journal, trial balance depend upon ledger. So by preparing ledger, it will become easy to prepare the trial balance, which we will discuss later on. Next, it will also help us to prepare the next financial statement, which will totally depend upon the driver, that is trading profit and loss account and balance sheet. This is the objective, or why we used to prepare, why we need to prepare the ledgers. Come to the some of the advantages of this ledger. If I am classifying my all informations into different segments, different on the basis of their common identical features, then what advantage I will get? Number one, it will give me a chance to classify the data, classify the transactions on the basis of their common features. All the transactions relating to cash will be recorded in cash. All the transactions relating to bank will record in bank book. All the transactions relating to sale will record in sale. All the transactions relating to purchase will be recorded in purchase. It will become easy to classify, to divide them. And by making the division of, by making classification of all these information, it will really easy to for me to check the status of any of this book, right? You can check the status, you can check the detail, you can check the present picture of any ledger, like up to the end of the day, up to the end of a particular month, up to the end of a particular period. What is the amount of sale we have made, what is the amount of purchase we have made, what is the picture of cash in hand, and what is the bank balance at particular point of time. Then it is a permanent record. Permanent record means all the transactions will be permanently recorded in cash book. If you want to check the status of cash, you will go to the cash. Permanent, right? You know where which transaction lies. If you want to find anything, you will target only that place where it should be. Like cash transaction should be in the cash ledger. Last, as I was earlier telling you, it also helps us, it will give us the advantage to complete the accounting cycle. Accounting cycle, as it will move on to phase by phase, it will help us to prepare the trading profit and loss account and balance sheet as well as trial balance, right? So these are the advantages, ledgers, objectives and advantage. Now we will try to learn what is the pro forma and how it used to deal the ledger, how we prepare the ledger, and what is the pro forma of this ledger. Okay, the ledger is of T shape. T shape. Its left hand side we call debit side. Its right hand side we call credit side. Now you will divide this into two parts and it becomes T. Now this stands for amount. This stands for journal value. This stands for particulars. And this stands for date. Same thing you have to draft on the another side. This is amount. Same thing will be on the credit side. Date, particulars, journal value and amount. Now how you will understand this? Date, the date when this transaction occurred, not the date of posting. Particular, here you have to put the detail of all the transactions. Journal value, journal value means the number of that page from which, the number of the page of journal from where you have taken this transaction. Amount, you have to put the amount, and same thing on the credit side. This is the pro forma of ledger. Like I am preparing a suppose cash account. Ledger is sometime, many times it's also called account, right? This is called debit side, this is called credit side. Anything you will put in any of the ledger, it should start with the word to. Anything you will put on the this side, that should start by word by. Here the word by should not be there. Here the word to should not be there. This is what you can say the pro forma and how to put the items in this. That date, particular journal value, amount, date, particular journal value, amount. Debit side, credit side. Anything recorded by using the word to and by. This is what you can say the ledger. Now in the next of our lectures, we will try to understand how to post the transaction, how to open the transaction, and how to close the transaction. Okay.